Have you ever felt like you're chasing something that's always just out of reach? Like true happiness is waiting for you after the next promotion, the bigger house, or the fancier car? This is the story of a man who believed exactly that. For years, he was convinced that happiness was something you could buy. From a young age, he was taught that success was measured by what you owned. So he built his life around this idea, working tirelessly, sacrificing sleep, family time, and his own well-being. He was on an endless treadmill, always chasing the next big thing. He worked 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. He slept little, ate poorly, and rarely had time for his family or friends. In his mind, it was a necessary sacrifice. He believed that once he had everything he dreamed of, peace and joy would finally arrive. Every new achievement, every promotion brought a fleeting sense of relief, but it was quickly replaced by the anxiety of the next goal. He was never truly satisfied. There was always something missing. Over the years, he accumulated all the symbols of success: a nice car, a stylish apartment, expensive clothes. He took lavish vacations, carefully curating his life for social media. To the outside world, his life looked perfect. But inside, a quiet emptiness grew, a nagging feeling that something essential was slipping through his fingers. At night, lying in bed, he'd ask himself, why, with all of this, am I still not happy? Then life, in its unpredictable way, decided to teach him a lesson. A major financial crisis hit his company, and despite all his years of dedication, he was laid off. At first, he wasn't worried. He had a strong resume and years of experience. But the months dragged on, and no doors opened. The bills started piling up, and the money that once seemed endless began to disappear like sand through his fingers. His world started to crumble. First, he had to sell his car to pay off debts. Then came the apartment, the one he had worked so hard for. Even his friends, the ones who were always around during the good times, started to fade away, too busy with their own lives to offer real support. In a short time, everything he had built was gone. He felt ashamed, defeated, and completely lost. The sleepless nights were filled with one question: how did my life end up here? The pain of losing it all felt unbearable, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, something began to shift. As he walked the streets with no destination, he started to notice the world around him for the first time. A neighbor he barely knew showed up at his door with a bag of groceries. A child in the park gave him a bright, innocent smile, and it lit up his entire day. An old man on a bench shared a story of his own struggles and triumphs, reminding him that life always finds a way to renew itself. These small, simple moments of human connection touched his heart in a way that no luxury car or expensive vacation ever had. For the first time in years, he started to truly reflect on what happiness meant. He realized that when he had everything, he couldn't appreciate any of it. He had been so consumed with chasing more that he'd forgotten to value what was already right in front of him. Now, with nothing left, he was discovering invisible treasures hidden in the simplest things: a kind gesture, a shared story, a moment of gratitude. One evening, he found himself sitting on a park bench, looking up at the vast, starry sky. And for the first time in a very long time, he took a deep breath without a single worry about tomorrow. In that profound silence, an unexpected peace washed over him. There was no car, no apartment, no status, but there was the sky above him, the air in his lungs, and the life beating within him. In that moment, he finally understood. Happiness was never about what you have. It's about how you see what's already there. His perspective on life began to change completely. He took on simple jobs he once would have considered beneath him, but they brought him a sense of dignity and purpose. He found joy in cooking his own meals, in long walks, in just being present. He met humble people who, despite having very little, lived with an incredible richness of spirit. They laughed, they sang, they celebrated life with an intensity he had never known. This contrast opened his eyes. He began to realize that he had gained far more than he had lost. He lost his possessions, but he found his values. He lost his status, but he discovered his humanity. He lost the illusion that happiness was something you could buy, and he found the truth that it had been inside him all along. This transformation wasn't a straight line. There were still hard days, moments of doubt and discouragement, but every challenge brought a new lesson. He learned to be grateful for a glass of water, for a sincere hug, for an unexpected smile. He learned that his worth wasn't tied to impressing anyone. He learned that life isn't about accumulating, but about connecting and sharing. And most importantly, he learned that sometimes we have to lose everything to finally find ourselves. Years later, looking back, he saw his old life for what it was, a beautiful prison built from his own ambitions. Today, living a much simpler life, he feels richer than he ever imagined, rich in experiences, in love, and in peace. The true happiness he had searched for so desperately was never in the external world. It was right here in the present moment, in every breath, in every human connection, in every act of kindness. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Losing something is not always the end. Often, it's an invitation to begin again. How many times have we felt that our world was ending because a door closed, without realizing it was making space for a whole new horizon? Life in its wisdom often takes from us what we think we need, to give us what we truly desire. It's then that we discover the greatest treasures are the ones money can buy: peace of mind, sincere gratitude, and true connection. So if you're feeling like you've lost something important right now, remember this story. Maybe life is just gently nudging you onto a new, more meaningful path. Maybe, just like that man, you're on the verge of discovering that true happiness isn't out there somewhere to be found, but has been inside you, waiting all along. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire. See you in the next one.